Hey everyone, I'm Brandon Gaylor with Gaylor Property Service, and today we're doing something pretty cool. We're headed to TwoTechs in, I think it's called Cartersville, Georgia, and we're most likely going to buy a mower, a stand-up zero-turn mower. Looking at either a Wright ZT or is that right? No, ZK, Wright ZK, or a Ferris Z3X. This TwoTechs place, I found him on Facebook, and so far he's been the probably most helpful to deal with. Cheapest prices, cheaper than in my Tennessee area, and they offer to, if it breaks down someday, send me a demo while it's getting fixed. So you can't beat that. It's about 3 hours away from me, and I'm about an hour and 30 minutes in on this drive, so I'm about halfway there. Fixing to be in Chattanooga, then head on down into Georgia. So many of y'all are wondering, how are you affording one of these $10,000 to $15,000 mowers? Well, I've got an investor, which is my papa. So I didn't really even ask him for it. I've got 1 yard I mow, and I borrowed his mower, and he said to me, well, if you want to buy a mower, I'll buy it and you pay me back for it. So I kind of hinted at, or I kind of said if I could buy anything, it'd be a single axle dump truck or a roll-off trailer, but he didn't care about none of that. He wanted me to buy a mower. And a mower is something I've thought about the past year, like off and on, of whether I should get into mowing or not. And I think it's gonna be the right move to do, especially with having him buy me a mower and pay him back. So that was this is money-wise, this is the easiest next step for the business because I have him. And with mowing, my goal is to get it built up enough to have enough yards and everything going that I can hire a crew to do it and keep building it from there. So build up the mowing side of the business enough to have crew while I do other stuff, and just, that's kind of what I see doing this whole business. Like have a mowing crew someday, have a junk removal crew someday, have somebody hauling stuff with a dump truck someday. Just whatever I'm doing, build it up to where a crew can run it. Then I'm out going fishing and not working. So no, not really. So I am out probably doing estimates with bigger companies and whatever else. So, or running some roll-offs, whatever. That's kind of what I like the best. Or doing big landscaping jobs, whatever. Wherever the Lord leads us. So that's what we're looking at. So next adventure in this business is starting a mowing company, or I guess starting a mowing service inside of this company. So it's a little bit of a rainy day, but we're headed to Georgia and probably gonna come home with a mower, or possibly two. We'll see. All right, we made it here to TwoTechs in Georgia. They got some Ferrises up front, a couple Wrights. We'll look them over and see what we can do. There's one here, Z3X, 37 horse. It has the oil guard on it. That's 72 inch. Don't want that big. Here's a Wright. Looks like a demo model maybe. It's all beat up a little bit. So let's go in here and talk to people, see what we can do. So here's inside their store.
Wright is a premium mower.
Okay.
And when it comes off the assembly line, which is made in Maryland, they immediately put it on a bench and put it under stress and load to make sure that it's perfect.
Every mower they do that?
Every mower they
really?
do that. So we have very few issues out of Wright. 0 grease fittings, 5-year, 500-hour warranty. You've got the wheel and pump transmission. Even the clutches are rated higher than your average mowers.
Really?
Yeah. So
I like too the engine moves with it, so the decks or the belts all in line all the time.
All the steep angles to wear out belts. There's a striping kit automatically built on.
Okay.
All Wrights, not the standard B, but everything above the standard B has a striping kit included. They are just fantastic machines, and the warranty backs that up.
Okay. What's the warranty on?
5 year. So there's 3 rolling warranties on mowers. 5 years, 500 hours.
Okay.
2 years unlimited hours. We call it the law of common sense. So if something happens to the spindle and you have a huge ding in the front of your deck and your blade's all mangled, that spindle's not under warranty, right? But if everything looks good and, you know, nothing is perfect, everything is assembled and made, everybody makes mistakes, then that would be covered under warranty.
Okay.
So we call it the law of common sense. If one tire wears funny, like there's, you know, an axle that's slightly out of you know, ratios, then that would be covered under warranty. Both tires being worn and you have 300 hours on it, that's you just using the machine, right? But stuff like that, even the little things like they put the pre-cleaner on it this year.
Okay. So Gen 2 doesn't have that?
Gen 2 does not have this. No, this is a Gen 3 option.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's a boss of a machine, and if you're looking for a premium cutting machine that you're going to keep for 10 years or more, I'd absolutely go with the Wright.
Okay.
One of the things I just met Mr. Wright, one of the things that I liked what he said was their primary focus is the second mower they're going to sell you. So if they build a mower that's so good,
you want to come back and buy a second.
That the next sale is what they're focused on.
Okay.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm sorry they're so dirty. We've had a bunch
of
storms and we zip them all over the place.
That's okay.
I need to rinse them off. So I apologize.
So tell me why you would go Ferris then, I guess, if after saying that.
Yeah, so Ferris is best ride, best cut. They have a slightly better suspension in the back.
Yeah.
Greasable fittings, so if you're good at maintenance, if you're going to actually grease your machine, it will last a long time. Seal bearings, greasable bearings, right? Eventually you do have to put grease and new bearings in a Wright. That's part of maintenance. They cut really well. Great price points and great fleet.
Okay.
So if you're going to purchase more than one mower over time, Ferris has better fleet than Wright does.
Okay.
A lot better. So, which is something we're working on with them. But for right now, if you're buying more than one mower, generally Ferris is the way to go.
Okay.
So the engines are pretty much the same. The decks don't move up and down on the Ferris. Let's see here. Not on the ZK, ZX3 level models, but on some of the smaller ones, the primary difference is the tire size.
Yeah, okay.
Based on what you're cutting, right? Like there's the Z1, you can see that the tires on the Z1 are bigger. That helps you hold hills better, helps you stick to slopes, rain, things like that. So that's one of the primary differences below the level of the ZK. But you can look at the ZK versus the ZX3 here and see that the tires are very similar sized. So Ferris has they're known for their suspension.
Yeah, I've heard they probably are the most comfortable, I guess, and ride the best.
Yes, sir. So, I mean,
I like that you can get the oil guard engine on them. That's probably one of my. Is it that big of a deal, or? Like,
once again, it kind of comes down to the numbers, right? So oil guard, there's a 100-hour break-in oil charge, oil change, and then every 500 after that. So you can't put it on a Wright yet, because the engine moves up and down, and it hasn't figured out how to put it on there yet. So the oil guard is very convenient for guys that are looking at, hey, I'm gonna grease, sharpen my blades, check my air filters, fuel filters, but I don't really want to do a lot of maintenance during the season. So you see me once a year, if that, right? That's the goal behind the oil guard. It does cost more money, so it's usually one of those, if based on what your needs are, right? If you change your own oil, it might not pay for itself for 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
If you're gonna hand it to guys and they're gonna run the whole season and you want minimal downtime, then absolutely get you an oil guard.
Okay.
But that's kind of how, like, usually we kind of guide people down by the numbers. If you're going to see your dealer a lot, every 50 to 100 hours for oil changes, then you should look at an oil guard.
Okay. So
just from the
I'll
time
be doing it myself.
Yeah,
so.
and if you're doing it yourself, you can still change the oil guard by yourself.
Right.
But then I'd ask you, like, how many hours do you put on your machine a year?
I'm just starting out.
Okay.
Business-wise and everything, so it's not going to be a lot at first. Hopefully more later, but
well, absolutely. It's always the goal.
Yeah.
Right? So for us, we stock about 22 demos. If you buy a lawnmower from us and it breaks, right, I'll either bring you a demo to use while we fix it. This is Bogey.
Hey, Bogey.
And if I have to come get your mower and trade them for you, I will. And that's, like, our goal is to get you in and out of the shop in 24 hours. That's on our website. That's not me being a good salesman. That's our business policy.
And that's why I drove 3 hours to come here.
Tanks, you don't have to swap it between them because it's EFI, right? Throttle, charge your phone if you want to, brake, deck adjust, key. The spare key is in the bag.
Okay.
Put to the side. Blade engage. We'll check all that before we leave. There's your tag. If something happens and it won't cut it on, right? To release the hydros is this bolt right here and this bolt right here.
Okay.
That's a 5/8 wrench, right? Just break it loose and then take it like one full circle, take the brake off, and it should roll. The more you let it out, the easier it will roll, but you don't want it to pop all the way out because then the oil spills out. So you're trying to get it so you barely see the oil ooze out, right? Watch your fans, keep this blown out. If you see anything sticking to it, that means you have a leak or a seeping problem, and that's under warranty.
Okay.
So let me know.
If I was having to, like, pull it or something, is that what you do to release it, or is there a little pin?
Yep.
There's not pins like that or anything. You just
this is
you
it
have
right
to do that.
because it's wheel and pump. That's a transaxle, so those are pins.
Gotcha.
Wheel and pump is 5/8 on the back.
Okay.
So this is your hydro reserves. You don't do anything to them. You'll service them at 100 hours, and every 500 after that. That is full cold. You'll notice that it goes up and down and changes color, just like as it expands and contracts, you get the dirt and whatnot. The 100-hour oil change is very important for your transmission. Okay?
Okay.
There's your serial number again. It's also right here. So it's everywhere.
Okay.
All right. Here's your pin if you don't, you want to set it to what you drop it to, and then obviously it ratchets down at the same time. So you need one or the other, but you don't need both. You need access underneath. It's right here. Service intro oil change at 10 hours, and then every 100 after that.
Okay.
We highly recommend Vanguard oil.
Okay.
You stay in that brand. We highly recommend that. It is full synthetic, so we recommend that you stay full synthetic in brand. Outside of that, that's about it. Your list of parts is right there, and you're ready to roll.
Sounds good. What about how often you do, like, what's your air filter maintenance?
Kind of depends on how much you're mowing, right? We tell you to check it right before leaf season and after leaf season, so kind of keep an eye on it every 3 months, but it's based on what you're mowing, right? So scalping season in the spring, you might want to swap it out right after that. A lot of dust, right?
Okay.
Summer, if you have a really dry summer, a lot of dust, just check it. Just remember that is what is controlling the amount of dirt sucked into your engine.
Right.
Do not blow out this filter.
Okay.
All right. Everybody says you can do it, this, that, or the other.
I've heard that, and I've heard people say do not do it.
No,
so
do not blow it out. You stick the blower on there, it blows all the little filaments out the wrong way.
Okay.
And flattens them down. And I mean, the filter's somewhere in the range of like $19 to $27.
Right.
Right. Best $19, $27 you'll ever spend on the inner and the outer filter. Right. Don't blow out your filter. You can tap it out.
Is this a filter too, or is that just a...
Yes, but it just stays right there.
You don't ever have to...
spin out extra
okay.
stuff. Yeah. You can tap it out, right? So, I mean, you can take it and tap it out at the end of the day.
Right. Just knock some dust off. Okay.
I don't care what people say. It's not recommended.
Okay.
Here's your oil gauge. We show you right here. Here's your oil dipstick. It's got oil in it. There's your oil release valve right here.
Okay.
So the hose is in the bag.
Okay.
You'll just attach the hose right there, run it out the side, then open it up, and then close it. swap the filter, it's right there. Everything's pretty accessible. That's about it. Anything else? Any other questions? We recommend once a year, just kind of zipping through and checking, you know, your air filters, fuel filters, all your, you know, swap out your fuel filter just because. So generally
once a year, you said?
Yeah, once a year, your annual service kind of thing. Sharpen blades usually based on how much you're cutting, once every week, 2 weeks, right? Just based on how much you're cutting and what you hit as you cut, of course. If you hear a squeak or anything like that that's under warranty, let me know. Sometimes bearing seize is very rare because it's all sealed and they don't, doesn't generally happen, but if it does, let me know. We'll get it fixed immediately. If for some reason you get into you don't want to scalp all the way down, all your scalp wheels, you can adjust them down if you want.
Okay.
I don't know too many people that do that, but you have that option. It's a northern southern grass kind of thing as you get into golf courses and whatnot. Try to keep your deck blown out. We tell people, like, especially gumballs, sticks, leaves, things like that. That's what wears out your belts and makes things pop off. So, you know, once a week, they're quick release for a reason. Pop them off, blow the deck clear, throw it back on. Especially if you get into like wet leaves and things like that, don't let it sit up there. Pop it off.
I guess it rusts and stuff.
Yeah, it
possibility
rusts.
too.
Yeah, but I mean, the moment that you get a gumball in one of these things, that blade's gonna pop right off.
Okay.
And if you get it just stuck into one of the pulleys, right, you might not even know it for a while, but that blade's still spinning, so you're gonna stretch the blade. You might wallow the pulley, and then when it's all said and done, you need a couple of belts, a couple of pulleys, right? And instead of just take your 10 minutes at the end of every Friday or Thursday, pop it off, blow it clear, put it back.
These have 2 belts, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. You got this one right here and this one right here. You got a big one and a small one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a machine. I love the ZK.
And hopefully it'll last me 10 plus years, like we talked about, and plenty of business.
Oh yeah. Oh, you'll have another one by then. This one will just be sitting somewhere, and you'll be like, "This was my first race." But yeah. All right, let's get your invoice ready. Do you mind if I take a picture of you?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yep, highly recommend going to TwoTechs. Talk to Justin.
Guys. Yeah, let me know. However we can help you guys.
Yep, he'll take care of you.
Absolutely. Oh, not just this time, but next 35 years.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We're all loaded up and we're in the mowing business now, so hopefully get home to Tennessee with no issues. Got new straps on there. They're not as long as mowed ones, but I think this is the best place to go. think I did pretty good on this. So hopefully this is a good machine. Hopefully it'll last me for 10 plus years, and we can get more of these and have a whole crew running these. So let's head home and probably see some mowing videos here soon.
Think about it, it's too late, but we had something we could have given you.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't have stayed on. What do you think? Yeah, it's a 61.
You want to add Herman?
No.
Did you look at some fish more?
They didn't really. They had one like $500 one there, but I'll just until I get a yard that actually needs it, then I'll buy one. That's the
Gaylor operated.
newest Gen 3 and everything. They had the Gen 2 as a demo, but this was, I could have got this one or the 52 inch. I think this one was the one I like the best though,
Now what's the buckets?
for garbage.
Where you choose to buy.
Where do you stand at?
On the back,
What's the
little
back?
platform.
Oh, that part.
Yeah.
I see it now. And it's got a pad. I guess you lean the front of yourself on it.
Yeah.
I've never seen one before that you stand up.
If you look, most of your like commercial guys run around. That's what they are.
Where's
Right here.
Oh, like that?
They don't look like that. That looks almost like they're on the back of a four-wheeler or something.
It's like a jet ski. No, that ain't bad.
This is the
forward, or is it back?
well, they both do the same thing, but you're mainly using these. If you really need to go backwards, you can use them, but you can pull that backwards too.
Oh, really?
This company invented the stand-on mower.
Oh, really?
Yep.
It's company's what
They invented the stand-on mower.
That's your blade drop.
this was.
That's the parking brake. This is the blade drop.
Throttle,
It's fuel injected, so there's no choke.
blades. Oh, yeah.
So how long did it take?
That's
to drive?
cool. It's
3 hours.
3 hours?
Where's your,
I had you check.
What
just
brand
check
is your
and I
motor?
said you could go-
Vanguard.
They got it wet.
Yeah, it rained the whole way here.
it's cool. I like it. How wide?
61.
Cool.
I could have got that or a 52. I think I'd be
Up
happier
over.
with the 62
These
or
are
the
gas
61.
tanks.
Have you got
That's
me
got a
on
fuel
that
gauge. That's nice.
Are you putting it on Facebook
YouTube.
or something? Look here. I got a hold of my.
Well, if you didn't tell nobody, nobody noticed. Now everybody in the world's gonna know.
Yeah, he can edit it out. It ain't live.
No. What do you think, Papa? You think it's a good one?
You have to practice.
Yeah. Thanks for getting it. Hopefully they'll make a lot of money and I can pay you back quick.
Oh, do you have somewhere to store it?
No, I'm gonna figure that out though. I may build a lean-to against my storage building or something. Either that or find a enclosed trailer or something.
How many pistons does it have?
2.
You got your oil filter right there.
do you think about it? Hmm? What do you think about it? Hey, little buddy. Hey, little buddy. What do you think about it? Hmm? You like smelling the plants? What do you think about it?
Getting the freshest one.
Yeah. Hey, what do you think about it? What do you think? What do you think about it? Don't care? Okay. Says it don't have a steering wheel, so you don't want it, right? Doesn't have a steering wheel, so you don't like it? Uh-oh. What do you think about it in all your infinite wisdom?
It looks good. That's the one I told you to go with. No, just kidding. I did.
Because you're always right?
No, because it's yellow. It matches your logo.
See, right now it looks orange.
Yeah, it looks... It's yellow, but it's like a more orange yellow.
I think they call it orange, but I'm not sure. I don't know.
Orange and it looks a little yellow.
I guess. Like low light right now, it looks orange. But in the sun, it looks yellow.
Yeah. Yeah, compared to those flowers, it looks orange.
Yeah. Let's put about $60 worth of fuel in it.
Wow. Is that the tank being full?
Yeah, it's full right now.
How long do you think it will last?
I mean, just mowing like a yard like ours, it'd last probably 2 months. But I mean, if you're mowing every day, not as much. Oh, got the mower home. Family just checked it out. And if you're in the market for a mower, check out TwoTechs in Georgia and talk to Justin. So thanks for watching, and remember, Jesus loves you. Bye.